Today, I'm going to teach you how to use bleeding tissue paper. Now, the tissue paper is not really bleeding real blood like, I'm hurt. But what happens is when you use this tissue paper, it leaves its color on your paper. Let's see how to do it. First, when you have your paper, you need to make sure that you first put your name on the back and then flip it over because your paper will be wet. Next, you are going to take a sponge and you are going to dab it all over your paper. Now, we want to make sure it is pretty wet, but that there's no large floods or puddles anywhere. This is really simple. Next, I'm going to take one piece of tissue paper at a time and stick it, and maybe even tap it, all over my paper. Make sure you only have one tissue paper at a time. I'm going to try to place different colors maybe next to each other so it looks cool. Oop, you can kind of see it happening already. It's starting to come off on the paper. Right, I'm going to finish up putting on my tissue paper and we'll check back. Now, once you've finished filling up your paper, some of this might be dry. After you have the tissue paper down on your paper, please do not use a sponge anymore. This sponge would get all of the color from the tissue paper on the sponge and I would not be able to wash it. So remember, only use your sponge once and then it gets put away. If your paper gets a little dry and your tissues are not sticking, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come around and spritz it with this little water bottle here. And so that will make sure it is nice and wet and your tissue paper will bleed into your actual paper. Now, next week, when you get this back, it is going to be dry and all these little tissues are going to come peeling off and leave their color. But for now, we're going to leave our tissue paper on the artwork. You are going to carry it very carefully with two hands and bring it to the drying rack. Now, at the end, make sure that you wipe up any mess that you got on your table. Good luck today. These are going to look amazing.